I'm Robert Keeley from Washington, D.C. I have a brief comment and a brief question. The comment is that I think you may be considerably underestimating the interest there will be in purchases of Class B stock later this week and next week. I have at least 10 friends in Washington who are aware that I'm a Berkshire shareholder and that I was coming to this meeting, and they've insisted that I report back to them tomorrow on just what happened with the Class B stock, because they're very interested to even the shareholders who are present here today. You're talking about tens of thousands of people who are going to be in that market. And my question relates to liquidity. On page 18 of your annual report, you say, and I quote, "The prospect that most shareholders will stick to the A stock suggests that it will enjoy a somewhat more liquid market than the B. Could you explain that? It seems to me that if most shareholders keep their A stock, do not convert it or sell it, that the B stock will be much more liquid." Maybe I don't understand liquidity.
No, I think you do. You understand it, and I'll elaborate just a bit. Certainly in the first week, I would expect the B stock to trade far more, although I hope it doesn't trade like most new issues trade in relation to the amount sold. It's just the nature of a new offering that there's usually. But longer range, let's just assume that there's $400 million worth of B stock out there. There will be $40 billion of A. Now, admittedly, I'm not going to do anything with my stock, and many people in this room have a very low tax basis, and except they're under very unusual circumstances, have no intention of doing anything with their stock. So of that $40 billion, there's a very significant percentage that you might say is almost inoculated against reaction to market changes. But there still is a very significant dollar value. There's a fair amount held by funds, for example. And so the market value of what I would call the potentially tradable A is likely to far exceed the market value of the potentially tradable B. Now, it may be that all of the B is potentially tradable, whereas only a small portion of the A is. But that 40 billion to 400 million ratio, I think, almost ensures that after the initial flurry, that the better market, and when I say better market, I mean the ability to move large dollar amounts in both directions with a minimal movement of price, not by a huge margin, but the better market is likely to be in the A, and frankly, we hope that it is. We still hope there's a good market in the B, obviously, but if you're talking 10 shares of the A, which is a $300,000 or so investment, I think that 2 months from now, that it's likely to be that buying or selling $300,000 worth of A will have slightly less of a percentage impact than buying or selling $300,000 worth of B, but not by a significant amount. But that's what I meant by that comment of having a slightly better market in the A than the B. And that's important from our standpoint, because if that situation became reversed and the B became the better market, then people would have a real incentive to convert from A to B over time, and eventually the B market would dominate. We don't anticipate that happening, and I think the way we've arranged it won't happen, but it could happen.
Charlie? Yeah, well, I think we've also created arrangements in the way we've written the prospectus and rewarded the selling brokers that tend to dampen demand, both individual and institutional, and we sometimes accomplish what we try to do.
Zone 4? Don't ask us for a list of those where we've got.
Yeah.